So now you've seen Oklo. Oklo's getting slammed. Remember, I was telling you, Oklo is one of those companies that's going to get brought down to earth. It doesn't mean they're not good. It doesn't mean that they won't eventually do well. It just means that the market's having what you call a correction. What some people call a crash is really a correction. A correction just says, okay, we got a little crazy. All right, okay, okay. We thought there was a $200 stock, but really it's a nice solid $110 company. So what you'll find in the middle of all the trash is you might find some companies that are really, really, really good bargains. The hard part is that if you're over leveraged, this is where my good buddy 19 Keys, he's a great smart guy. I had to correct him a little bit. I didn't correct him. It was just like I was contributing to the discussion. I wasn't correct. I liked the guy. It was more like he was talking about debt and he was saying that you're a fool if you don't take on more debt so you can expand your leverage and make more money. And there was another guy he was debating with on a panel that I was on where the guy was saying, no, I don't like to take debt. I don't want any debt, right? Because he was more southern, more conservative. He had a family and he was a little older. And what I saw was not so much anybody being right or wrong. I saw a difference in preferences. 19 Keys is about maybe in his 30s, I think. This guy looked like he was in his 40s. I don't know if I don't think 19 Keys is married. This guy was married. So a married man in his 40s or 50s is going to invest differently from a young guy who is 31 years old with no wife and kids. So what I saw was a difference in perspective. Not that anybody's right or wrong. So you got to figure out what kind of investor you are, right? And how you want to fit into that. But anyway, one of the things that I did mention is I said the thing about debt is that debt it looks real sexy when everything's good. Debt is an accelerator of the obvious outcome. Debt will accelerate your reality. It's not going to necessarily create a good reality or a bad reality. So it's like a car. If you're in a car and you're driving 100 miles an hour, then what you're doing is you're accelerating your final outcome. So either A, you will get there much faster than people who are driving 50 miles an hour on the freeway, or B, you will crash. And when you crash, you because your velocity is so high, you're probably going to decapitate yourself and like incinerate in the fire that's going to occur when your car explodes because you were driving so damn fast, right? So ultimately, debt does that. Debt accelerates your financial outcome. So if you've been heavily committed to margin and leverage and borrowing and everything else, you're probably dealing with some margin calls. Those margin calls can be brutal. And what happens is that in a margin call, it's this big economic explosion. And when you are in the middle of an explosion and everything's on fire, your energy can't you don't have a lot of ability to take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of you. You are putting out fires. You're too busy trying to maintain your portfolio, selling assets and finding cash to keep everything stable. Whereas somebody who's been sitting on the side, like a Warren Buffett style person who's very conservative, who missed out on the party, who looked like a sucker because he wasn't taking on a bunch of debt. Oh, he's sitting on this much cash. So he's like, oh, so that stock that you owned that was worth $100, oh, now you're in a fire sale. You're forced to sell because now time is your enemy. You have 2 days to get rid of this asset. I'll take it off your hands for $50. I'll take it off your hands for $50. So ultimately, you got to understand with investing, sometimes the young bull wins that's going full speed ahead, but then sometimes the slow, like the patient investor wins.